Over 5,000 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the last 24-hour cycle. Active cases have risen to over 83,000. The Health Department has also reported another 114 deaths, taking the toll to 57,879. Cases across the country have risen on average by over 7,500 per day for the past week, and further lockdown restrictions are looming. The Health Department is expected to make recommendations to the National Coronavirus Command Council this week.
Back to square one, with coronavirus cases on the rise yet again. Since the last COVID-19 update by the President, infections have skyrocketed. All this comes as government is still grappling with its vaccination drive across the country. And news that the 2 million Johnson & Johnson vaccines at the Gqeberha plant will no longer be used and will be destroyed is another major setback. Now the question is, will government introduce tighter restrictions?
We've learned from first wave, we've learned from second wave in terms of managing the pandemic, and what we are doing now is to be able to continue with the mechanisms that have been put in place in terms of testing, tracing, isolating and treating.
As fears about the third wave rise, the EFF has called for the shutdown of all contact learning.
Schools must close, and they must close with immediate effect, because our children are going to die. We give ministers 7 days to close schools. Failure to do so, we'll have to close schools ourselves as the EFF.
Meanwhile, the Gauteng Department of Education says it's finalizing processes of ensuring the safe reopening of primary schools to full capacity for the next term. The department says measures are being put in place to also ensure the availability of PPEs in schools.
We've been making necessary preparations for the primary schools to come back. You will know that according to our researchers, we have lost so much of your curriculum time. More so that at that level, they need supervision, they need an educator in front of them. So that's why we are finalizing our preparations. But in the current wave or third wave that we are in, we are working very closely with the Department of Health.
In his last address, the President cautioned that it was only a matter of time before the entire country enters the third wave. And many believe further interventions from the President to fight the rising infections could come as early as this week. Nhlanhla Khatlhane, SABC News, Johannesburg.